Welcome to the Curator's Corner on Museum Monday on the 5th week of the virtual pilgrimage. I am Sarah Bone, a park ranger at Manzanar National Historic Site. I am also a collateral duty museum assistant. In the National Park Service, one of the ways we preserve America's stories is to preserve the items that represent them. We are grateful that many people have chosen to donate their family items to Manzanar to preserve the past and educate present and future generations. This week's theme is What is Citizenship? We'll be exploring items donated by George Maeda in 2017. Like all people born in the United States, George Maeda is a U.S. citizen. He was born in Los Angeles on July 27, 1932. Naturalization is another route towards citizenship, but before 1952, U.S. naturalization law limited it to aliens being free white persons and aliens of African nativity and to persons of African descent. George's parents were born in Japan and immigrated to the United States at a time when they were not allowed to naturalize as citizens in their adopted country. At the turn of the 20th century, Yozo Maeda left his family's home and the farmland outside Hiroshima when he was 16 years old. He and his brother left for the United States in the hopes of gaining financial stability for their parents. After 10 years, Yozo sent his brother home and thought he would give it another 10 years. In 1920, he married Kimiko Yamasaki. She was born in Hiroshima in 1899, and her sister arranged for the marriage. Yozo sent a letter to his family in Japan letting them know that now that he was married and starting a family in the United States, he would not return. He was determined to make a home for his family here, not in Japan. Yozo and Kimiko had Shizuko in 1923, Takeko in 1927, and George in 1932. They lived in Northridge, and Yozo had a melon farm in Saugus. Alien land laws, which denied the right of land ownership to people ineligible for U.S. citizenship, prevented him from owning his farm. Like many Japanese immigrants, he leased the land. Yozo was a leader in his community. He was the treasurer of the local Japanese language school, and when his brother-in-law passed away, he helped his sister-in-law and nephew run their general merchandise store in Azusa. After December 7, 1941, life got even more complicated for Yozo and Kimiko. In January 1942, Yozo had to apply for a permit to travel to Saugus and Azusa. In February, the government required Yozo and Kimiko to register at their local post office. They needed this document in order to go about their daily business. They could not travel. The government had marked them as aliens. At this point, Kimiko had been in the U.S. for more than 21 years. Yozo, more than 42. Not long after, George came home from school to find his father being arrested by the FBI. He remembers Yozo telling him, "Don't worry, I'll be back." When he went inside, his mother and sisters were crying. The family did not know why he was arrested. Yozo went to Tuna Canyon Detention Center in Tujunga. Here, as a prisoner, he registered for the U.S. draft. Meanwhile, Kimiko, Shizuko, Takeko, and George had to prepare for the unknown. They would soon learn that the government would send them to Manzanar. They would not be joined by Yozo until June 20, 1942. They received postcards from him in Tuna Canyon. One of the postcards warned them to take care in making friends at Manzanar. Reunited in Manzanar, the Maeda family tried to make life better for themselves. Kimiko worked in the mess hall and Yozo in supply. George remembers his parents gave him money for pints of ice cream. But their loyalty was questioned again. In February 1943, Yozo explained to his family that, "We're in this country, so we're loyal to this country." George remembers fears in his extended family that answering yes to the so-called loyalty questionnaire would mean the loss of their Japanese citizenship, and they would be without a country. Yozo and Kimiko decided to answer yes. After the war, the Maeda family first joined Kimiko's sister in Azusa and then moved to Glendora. Kimiko became a seamstress, and Yozo helped grow flowers and was a part-time gardener. With the passage of the Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1952, George expected his father to rush to naturalize now that he was finally able. But Yozo explained, "I've been in this country since 1900, and I was not good enough human being to be a citizen. And now they sign a piece of paper, and I'm supposed to go running to be a citizen?" Yozo passed away on December 19, 1978. Kimiko signed her naturalization papers on January 25, 1980. Citizenship is not only a legal designation. Citizenship is also a way to belong and a way to give belonging to someone who has given themselves to a country and an ideal. If that belonging is given equally to everyone, then the U.S. ideal remains intact. Yozo and Kimiko Maeda gave themselves to the U.S., the birthplace of their children, the foundation of their family. Yozo was not allowed to own his farm. He was arrested and endured imprisonment without cause, all because he wanted to call the United States home. Yozo was a citizen of his community, even if for many decades he was not allowed to be a citizen in his country. Thank you for joining us for this week's Curator Corner. You can learn more about Manzanar National Historic Site through our website, our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please contact me, Sarah Bone, via email.